Okay guys, let's continue to the second part of chapter 3. It's been 7 days since the lieutenant visited our class. At first glance, everything was still the same. Okay, so 7 days passed. The forest still held out its gnarly claws toward the village, and the wind whipped up white flags waved from powdery snow every night. When my parents argued in the other room, I would turn up the TV's volume to silence their muffled voices and sit close to Olya. Vova and Simon's photos were still 2 black spots on the notice board, and round-faced Senya hasn't returned home too. But something did change. I could see how different the looks of my classmates were. They made my pockets bulge with gifted apples. Their animosity was gone. School wasn't scary anymore. Okay, I'm confused. But most importantly, a shadow slid across my desk, leaving behind a mysterious note. I glanced into the space between rows, but the messenger was already nowhere to be found. Who sent me this note? What could this carefully ripped out and neatly folded piece of paper be hiding from me? Okay, most likely it's either Polina or, I don't know, maybe Alisa somehow? We still didn't see Alisa in this episode, which is kinda weird. I mean, she looks like one of the main characters so far. More threats and humiliation, or... I took the piece of paper and carefully inhaled the wafting aroma. Blackberry. I'll be waiting at the cul-de-sac near the dressing room. Come alone. And a heart. Inside was a message in beautiful handwriting. I'm waiting at a dead end near the dressing room. Come alone. Drunk on that sudden call, I immediately started walking, looking over my shoulder from time to time, making sure nobody's following me. I didn't even notice how I almost broke into a run and jumped around the corner. As soon as I did that, I rammed into somebody inside the dark nook.
Oi!
Okay, it's Polina. Like a magic bird, a green notebook glided to my feet. Polina puffed her cheeks in exaggerated anger.
Петров! Да ты совсем зрение потерял.
Petrov, have you lost your sight completely? I fixed my glasses. My nearsightedness wasn't that embarrassing anymore. I bent down and picked up the notebook.
Прости, я так торопился. Ты меня ждала? Что случилось?
Sorry, I was in a rush. Were you waiting for me? Did something happen? Polina studied me with her eyes and clicked her tongue.
А знаешь, на что ты похож, Антоша?
Do you know what you look like, Antosha?
На блюзовую импровизацию.
Like blues improvisation? Okay. I blinked in bewilderment. Same, I mean, like, she's a musician, so I guess she can give musical analogies to people and their personalities. Okay, let's see what she has to say about that.
Это как?
What do you mean?
Для меня все люди с чем-то ассоциируются.
I always associate people I know with something.
И для меня, но не с музыкой же.
I do that too, but why music?
Вот как раз с музыкой.
It can't be anything other than music.
Бывают люди гитарные соло, или барабанный бой, или военный марш, как наша Лилия Павловна.
Some people are like guitar solos, some are drums. People like our Lilia Pavlovna are war marches.
А ты такой задумчивый, таинственный, иногда немного печальный.
And you're so thoughtful, so mysterious, sometimes even a bit sad.
Ты точно блюз.
You're definitely blues.
А почему импровизация?
And what about the improvisation part?
А это когда слушатель не догадывается, куда свернет мелодия, какой темп возьмет.
It's when the listener has no idea where the melody will go, what tempo it will adopt. Of course, some of the things Polina said went completely over my head. But I couldn't stop looking at her smile. Light like a breeze in May, and her eyes deep and blue.
Чтобы распознать в тебе музыку, нужен опыт и вкус.
One needs to have experience and taste to recognize the music in you.
Это не какая-то там эстрада.
You're not some pop music.
Я, наверное, вообще не знаю, что такое этот блюз.
I don't think I even know what blues is. Polina gasped and frowned, which made her look even more beautiful. Dude is crushing really hard.
Не произноси при мне такие слова.
Да-
Я тебе обязательно дам кассету.
Don't say something like that to my face. I'll make sure to give you a cassette.
Раньше мне дедушка из города столько музыки привозил. И джаз, и свинг, и классику.
Grandpa used to bring me so much music from the city. Jazz, swing, and classical too.
Это он подметил, что у меня склад ума, как у музыканта.
He was the one to notice my musical mindset.
Я еще совсем маленькой пыталась на бумаге записать звуки природы. Пение дождя, леса.
When I was still very little, I tried recording the sounds of nature on paper, the songs of the rain and the forest.
Эх, мне бы твои уши.
I wish I had ears like yours,
А мне бы твои глаза.
and I'd love to have your eyes. I mean, Anton barely can see without his glasses. What do you mean? I tensed up, worried that she was making fun of me, but Polina shook her head.
Да-да, я серьезно. У тебя глаза художника.
Okay, that's what she's talking about. No, I'm serious. You have the eyes of an artist.
Смотришь на вещи и фиксируешь их. Я так не умею.
You're so good at picturing things. I can't do that. Oh no. Katya. Is she going to see us here? I mean, it's supposed to be darkness, but still. Katya walked past us with her trademark frosty glare. We dove into the shadows, trying to escape it.
Теперь понимаешь, почему мы тут прячемся? Вот из-за таких, как она.
You understand why we're hiding here, right? Because of people like her.
А Катька какая мелодия.
And what kind of melody is Katya? Polina flashed me a sly smile.
Скрип несмазанных дверных петель.
The squeaking sound of unoiled door hinges.
Знаешь, такой мерзкий дискант.
You know this nasty descant? I giggled, covering my mouth. Probably she would hear that. I mean, Katya. Katya didn't hear our whispers, but she suddenly glanced over her shoulder, clearly annoyed. A moment later, she sighed and went her way. Okay, I'm pretty sure she should notice. I remembered about the notebook I was still clutching in my hand. I turned it in my hands. Instead of a subject name, the front side had the name of the owner and two words, friends only.
Любопытной Варваре кое-что оторвали.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know?
Прости, это анкета?
I'm sorry, is this a questionnaire?
Заполнял когда-нибудь?
Have you ever filled one?
Угу.
I lied that I had. In reality, girl classmates from my previous school had never asked me to fill their questionnaires. It was quite upsetting. I mean, it was a girl hobby. You just answer a set of standard questions about your favorite actors and colors, but entrusting someone with such a notebook was the sign of friendship. And maybe of something even more, something I only had a vague idea about.
Хочешь, заполни мою.
You can fill in mine if you want. My heartbeat quickened.
Хочу, спасибо.
I do, thank you. Polina giggled.
А хотя, там же столько секретов.
Actually, there's so many secrets there.
Наверное, лучше тебе не знать, о чем мы, девочки, думаем.
You'd better off not knowing what we, girls, think. She reached for the notebook, playing with me. I tossed my finding into my free hand. Polina tried to intercept my move. Her hair briefly touched my face, tickling my nose with its silky locks. I sensed an aroma that immediately filled the whole world, fragrant, alluring, lively. If only I could picture it, steal it for myself. I felt dizzy, but I gathered myself and spoke in a voice reminiscent of Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Ваша анкета является важнейшей уликой, и я вынужден временно изъять ее для изучения.
Your questionnaire is an important piece of evidence, so I'm afraid I have to confiscate it for further examination. Polina covered her mouth that rounded in fake horror.
И что мне грозит за сокрытие улик?
And what are the implications of concealing evidence?
Следствие покажет.
We'll decide that in the course of our investigation.
Сдаюсь, товарищ милиционер.
I surrender, Mr. Policeman.
Только обещайте ничего не читать.
Just promise you won't read anything.
Здесь содержатся секретные сведения.
It's full of sensitive information.
Боюсь, что мне все-таки придется выяснить, не влюблен ли кто в гражданина Петрова.
Okay, that was kind of blunt. I'm afraid I'll have to investigate whether someone is in love with Mr. Petrov. Polina burst out laughing and pressed herself against my chest, showering me with the aroma of her hair and her milky skin that looked almost transparent, with tiny threads of veins running under it. Her whisper was hot, like a piece of butter sizzling on a pan.
Тогда поклянитесь, что не станете разглашать информацию.
Then swear that you will keep this information private.
Честная милицейская.
I swear on my police badge.
А теперь, Антоша, самое время поторопиться.
And now we need to hurry, Antosha. Okay, that was actually pretty cute. But still, I'm waiting for the 2 last episodes to get my final opinion about Polina. I don't know, is she a good person or is she hiding something? I don't know. I took out the notebook during class, with utmost care as if it was some sort of fragile treasure. Skimmed through it, reading into other people's preferences. Oh, okay, Roma Petifan. 6B, Shafutinsky, okay, makes sense. February, hanging out, I guess. Buying a BMW, okay. Stallone, Schwarzenegger. Don't trust, don't fret, don't ask. Okay, 3/15/87. DuckTales, Biasha. Okay. I was quite surprised to discover Romka's jerky handwriting inside. His letters bulged out of the cells, as if embarrassed by their shapelessness. Fearsome Romka found time for something so silly? I mean, from Polina's route, it kinda seems like Romka has some feelings towards Polina. I chuckled into my fist after I found out that Romka's favorite cartoon is not even Darkwing Duck, but DuckTales. Somewhere in the distance, a teacher was reciting pieces of Andreev Snapper. I paid them no mind. Polina's page was decorated with flower drawings and clippings from the Cool Girl magazine. Okay, Polina Morozova, 6B, Franz Schubert, okay, My Birthday, Listening, See the World, Robert Schumann, Losing the People I Love, 3/24/92. Okay, is it the date of birth? No, it makes no sense, because, like, I think Romka had, like, 87. Well, is that a telephone number, maybe? Town musician of Bremen, Grandpa, okay. Her favorite musician is Schubert. Her best friend is her grandpa. Okay, so Romka's best friend is Biasha, makes sense. Her hobby is not violin like I expected, but a much more mysterious listening. Can such a mundane process really be someone's hobby? I looked at Polina over the heads of other students. She was focused on taking notes. Okay, so questions. What's your name? What class are you in? Your favorite music? Your favorite holiday? Your hobby? What's your dream? Your hero? Your biggest fear? Your phone number? Your favorite cartoon? And your best friend. Okay. I flipped the pages until I found a blank one and armed myself with a pen. Anton Petrov, class 6B. I took a long time to decide on my favorite musician until a trendy pop band, Carmen, came to mind, with the cool dancers in their music videos. Okay. Favorite holiday? This one's easy. New Year's. My hobby is drawing. My dream? Going to Disneyland, I guess. My hero? My hand moved on its own, writing that. Okay, probably he want to write dad. I stopped on those two letters. What if those who read this after me will find my answer laughable and stupid? After thinking for a bit, I decided that not everything should be disclosed on paper. That's how Da turned into Spider-Man. The spelling was wrong, but who cares? Okay, I actually want to know how in Russian they play this part with the spelling mistake. Maybe it's not Spider-Man, maybe it's some other character. Your biggest fear, huh? I immediately wrote, losing a person who's dear to me. Your phone number, okay, yeah, phone number exactly. No secret here, 30395. Your favorite cartoon? Transformers. Your best friend? I hesitated, knowing on the band's cap. I remembered Alisa, gliding behind the trees, laughing enthusiastically from the shadows. I hadn't seen her in a week, and it even made me worried. After all, she was the one who stopped the colossus of a monster that wanders the forest in the night from tearing me to bits. I mentioned a masked girl to Romka and Biasha before, but they just gave me weird looks. I wonder what she's up to right now. Your best friend. I read the question out loud. It was easy, but at the same time, very important. My answer consisted of 3 letters, and I filled them in the cells with care. You. Cute, 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 cute. You, I repeated when running out of the school. Refreshing frosty air made my cheeks turn beet red. It was bright outside, and the sun looked like a whole egg yolk. The road looked as if it was silvered. The snow sparkled under the sunlight. I smiled, squinting from the blinding whiteness. There was also something magical in my chest that beckoned me. Because friendship can grow into something bigger. Okay, here is Biasha, okay. What's with the happy face, Tosha? I swallowed my smile and turned red.
Да так, анекдот вспомнил.
I just remembered the joke. Biasha was shuffling his feet in the middle of the yard, his boots restless on the ice.
Ну, делись тогда на.
Share it, me, eh? I rummaged through my memory and blurted out a random joke I'd heard today in the cafeteria.
Кощей вышел на крыльцо почесать себе сундук, зайца, утку и яйцо.
Okay, that's not funny. That's just not funny. Why did the chewing gum cross the road? It was stuck to the chicken's foot. Yeah, kind of the same level of the joke in Russian. I mean... But exactly.
Ясно, Петросян.
I see, Petrosyan. Petrosyan is like a very famous comedian from like... I'm not even sure when he started his career. He's like 70-something right now. Maybe even 80-something. So like, yeah, during that time he was maybe like 60.
Ну, идем на.
Let's go, eh? He walked toward the school's corner without waiting for me. I hesitantly tagged
А
along.
куда?
Where are we going?
Идем на.
You'll see, eh?
Мы теперь в одной связке и действуем заодно.
We're now in one pack, so we move together.
Помощь твоя нужна в кое-каком дельце.
Come on, here we go, going to something criminal again. You'll need to help us with some small business. I felt chills run all over my body. I didn't like the sound of that, small business. Those words accompanied by spitting normally hid very dark deeds underneath them. Strangers that used to call our old apartment used to say, "Get your old man, we have a small business to discuss." Biasha turned around. He looked like an astronaut in this tight hood. If I were to imagine him as a sound, he'd be a deafening whistle, a signal given by someone who stands watch. My knees started shaking as soon as I thought that I was about to be dragged into something shady. Dude. Images flashed before my eyes. Tikhonov's strict gaze as he shuts the prison cell door on me. My father hitting the bars in anger. Mom and Olya crying nearby. To my demise, there was nobody at the backyard. Apart from the grim-faced Romka... Okay, why the hell is he angry? He stood there, his feet wide apart, with his right hand hidden behind his back. He must be holding a knife. The steel butterfly of death that flies toward a person's heartbeat. Okay, why the hell is he angry? Romka's dry lips were tightly pursed. He kept shooting glances at me as he looked around. What's going on? It was as if Romka read and announced my thoughts.
Что происходит?
What's going on?
Ничего, проветриваемся на.
Nothing much, we're out for a walk, eh? Byasha's voice sounded nasty, snarky.
Проветривайся в другом месте.
Walk some other way.
А мне и здесь нормально, да, куколка?
We like it here, right, baby? Okay, what the hell is going on? Baby? Is he talking to me? I was so bewildered I wasn't able to squeeze out a single sound in reply. I just watched the bizarre scene played out in front of me by my new problematic friends.
Видишь? Ты ее напугал!
Look, you scared her! What the hell?
Тебе какая забота, говнюк? Вали пока целно!
What do you care, shithead? Screw off while you still can, eh? I was trying to digest what I just heard. Did Byasha really call Romka a shithead? Is he out of his mind?
Пацаны,
Guys. Byasha ignored my weak protests and stepped toward Romka, swung at him in a weird comical manner. Romka blocked the punch with his free hand, keeping his right hand behind his back. Even actors in Indian films that my mom loves fight more convincingly. Byasha started weeping, even though I hadn't seen Romka hitting him.
Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй-яй, больно как! У меня сотрясение мозга!
Oh, it hurts! I have a concussion now! Romka kicked him in the knee and Byasha fell to the ground, sighing and moaning. And I stared at the approaching Romka without blinking. His elbow was twitching and his hand crawled from behind his back. I grew roots into the asphalt. A blade will shine in front of me. Here it comes. Romka yanked his hand from behind his back. My teeth chattered from fear. Okay, flowers? A bouquet of snowdrops that appeared out of nowhere in this freezing weather swayed in front of my face. What's this? Flowers?
Позволь проводить тебя.
Let me escort you. Okay, so... Okay. Romka has a crush on someone, and I think I might know who the someone is. Okay, are they trying to do some kind of like weird stuff? Like, I don't know, some... Okay, let's see what's gonna happen.
А то, сама знаешь, шастают тут всякие маньяки.
You know, there are all sorts of creeps snooping around here.
Ну а тёна, бедным маньякам уже и посасать нельзя!
What's wrong with innocent creeps doing a bit of snooping about, eh?
Эх, хреновый из тебя маньяк, Бяшка. Даже Тоха не повелся.
You make for a bad creep, Byasha. Even Tocha here was not phased.
А она нас в 2 счета раскусит.
She'll definitely see through our act. Okay, unless it's someone who we still didn't meet from other school. Probably this person should know that Byasha and Romka are friends, so... That's not gonna work! Words finally returned to me.
она Кто она? Что тут творится?
She? Who is she? What's going on here? Romka snorted, blowing snowflakes off the flowers.
А, маленькая репетиция, братан.
A small rehearsal, bro.
Хотели на твою реакцию посмотреть.
Wanted to see a reaction. Basha stood up and brushed himself off.
Да Ромыч в стёлку одно втюрился.
Romka here is head over heels for a chick.
Он откуда-то цветы нарыл на.
Even dug up these flowers from somewhere, eh?
Пасть заткни!
Shut your trap.
Я так, планирую подкатить слегка.
I'm just planning a little pickup.
Разыграть представление, а то она неприступная, мать ее за ногу.
Like staging a performance for her. She's so damn unapproachable, you see? I mean, probably it's Polina. I'm like 70% sure it's her.
Типа гуляет девочка себе, а к ней докапывается такое вот говно.
She'll be just walking outside and then a shithead like him starts bothering her. Basha grumbled, upset.
Сам ты говно!
I'm not a shithead.
Ну и я такой ее раз и спасаю.
And here's where I come in and bam, save her.
Но чё-то Бяша совсем бездарный актер.
But Basha turned out to be a very bad actor.
Давай-ка ты маньяком будешь.
How about you become the creep?
Я?
Me?
Ну а чё?
Yeah, you.
Как по телеку показывали, маньяки вообще всегда тихие, скромные люди.
I saw it on TV. Serial killers are always these silent, shy types.
Вот прям как ты.
Just like you.
А благодаря Катькиным сплетням все в школе думают, что именно ты бабурину кокнул.
And thanks to Katya's gossip, the whole school thinks you were the one to off Baburin.
Давай, соглашайся, Тох.
Come on, Tocha. I felt relieved. Nothing criminal, just a scene for a girl.
А что делать-то надо?
What do I need to do?
Ты же видел Бяшино кривляние?
You saw Basha's antics, no?
Тип, идешь ко мне, борзый такой, можешь разок в печень заехать?
You come at me all brave, you can even punch me in the stomach.
А я тебя тип херак и в сугроб.
And I'm like, ha! And you fly into the snow pile.
Ну, давайте попробуем.
Well, let's give it a try. Roma livened up.
Отлично.
Nice.
Бяша, меняешь пол. Ты теперь тёлочка.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay, this is funny. Basha changed of plans. You're a little girly now.
Гуляй.
Walk. Basha started dragging his feet along the schoolyard, grimacing.
Я тёлочка, красивая тёлочка, я гуляю.
Oh, man, freaking idiots. I'm a girly, a pretty girly, I'm on a walk.
Тоха, действуй.
Your move, Tocha. I went over Dromka, fighting an urge to smile. He hid his hand again and put on a stern expression, a 5-star actor.
Она моя!
She's mine.
Рискни.
Let me see you try. Not bad. And I tried. Threw a punch in the direction of my friend. My knuckles barely grazed his leather coat, and Romka suddenly fell. Barely grazed, it seemed like you freaking knock him out. Not from my laughable poke, of course, but because he slipped on ice. Oh, okay. He plopped on his back with his full weight, without a chance to get his hand out of the way. Petals from the squashed flowers were left on the snow. I rushed to help.
Ой, бля. Да погоди ты, не дергай.
Dang it, wait, don't pull.
Не сломал?
Did you break anything? Roma was carefully working his wrist.
Да не, ушиб вроде.
Nah, probably just a bruise.
Лед приложить нужно.
You should put some ice against it, eh? Well, he can stay like that for a moment.
Тебя, мудака, приложить нужно.
I'd rather put your moronic head against the wall
Об стенку башкой.
and smack it as hard as I can. Romka was already laughing as he got up and gathered the flowers.
Да, если я так при подруге навернусь, можно будет про нее забыть.
Well, if I go flying in front of that chick, I might as well forget about her.
Давай еще раз отрепетируем.
Let's give it another go. Romka shook his head.
Вечером, как рука пройдет.
In the evening, when my hand gets better.
Не хочу опозориться перед первой скрипкой школы.
I knew it, yeah, of course. It has to be Polina. It has to be Polina. I don't want to screw up in front of the school's first violin. Alright, and here Anton finally realizes what's going on. I stumbled mid-word. A switch flipped in my head. It's all made sense now. I remembered Romka constantly sneaking glances at Polina. I remembered his scrawly handwriting in the questionnaire. Why didn't I study it more in depth? I felt like somebody hit me over the head with a giant hammer, making me sink into the ground. Polina. She was the main character of this play, directed by Romka. And I landed the role of the third wheel. I mumbled hesitantly.
Договорились.
Alright.
Вот это я понимаю, команда Вольтрона!
Now that's what I'm talking about. Just like Voltron's team. Oh god. We already have a love triangle. School. Well, it's not even middle school. I think it's like elementary school, supposed to be 6th grade. Now that's what I'm talking about. Just like Voltron's team.
Один за всех!
One for all,
И все на одного!
and all on one.
Захлопни!
Shut it.
Если вдруг тебе понадобится помощь, Антоха, можешь рассчитывать на меня.
If you ever need help, Antoja, you can count on me. I mean, probably if he says the word, he will actually do it, cause like, he does have his own code. But still, why it has to be like that?
А теперь бывай.
See ya!
Вечером мы к тебе заглянем.
We'll visit you in the evening. Ouch. The aftertaste of horrible water I drank down my meds with lingered in my mouth. My thoughts were focused on Polina. But the play where I was assigned the role of a villain was also on my mind.
В общем, я сегодня книжку читала, там ребята учились в школе, прям как ты ходишь в школу, и они в школу ходили. Вот. И у них был какой-то праздник, и они там поделки лепили и делали все своими руками. Нужно было сначала принести природные материалы, листики всякие там, потом еще шишки, и потом они все это разбирали и клеили на бумагу, и друг другу дарили, открытки делали там всякие, и ящички, в которые потом подарки нужно было класть. И так все красиво было. А одна девочка даже из дома принесла елочные игрушки. Ну, старые игрушки, которые уже никому не нужны были. Они их аккуратненько молоточком разбили, а блесточки с них посыпались. И эти блесточки... В общем, я сегодня книжку читала, там ребята...
Okay, so basically she's talking about a book she read about some school kids. I wandered around the house, feeling intoxicated, and nodded to everything my sister said without trying to discern her words. Olya was talking non-stop, at times lifting up her arms and laughing, only to then suddenly go quiet and give me mom's signature gnarly look. I was yanked out of the prison of my own mind, where seething thoughts pecked at my brain like harpies, stopping me from coming back to reality. I stared back. Olya looked like a mini version of her mom right now. Well, to be precise, she looked like the person Mom turned into when we moved here, with her intimidating posture and her eyebrows directed toward the ceiling.
Ты меня не слушал, так?
You weren't listening to me, were you? She tried spitting out those words at me, copying facial expressions of the person she spent almost all of her free time with. For a moment, I felt like the light Olya exuded all these years waned and wavered in the wind of prolonged changes. Very soon, my beautiful princess will turn into the dragon that was once guarding her prison tower. The thought was much scarier to me than any other horror sneaking up to me from the future.
Оля, прости.
Sorry, Olya.
Ты же не сердишься, правда? Я просто задумался.
I didn't want to make you mad. I just got lost in thought. I looked around the room. my gaze jumping from one object to another, like a hungry beast, trying to find anything that could distract Olya.
Давай в приставку поиграем.
Let's play the console. Olya pouted, but there was a spark of interest in her small emerald eyes. The Snow Queen's ice shard inside them started teething.
А как же второй джойстик? Не работает же.
And what about the second controller? It's not working,
А папе починить некогда.
and Dad has no time to fix it.
Можем из пистолета пострелять.
We can play with the light gun.
В ковбоев или уток. Хочешь?
What do you want to play? Cowboys, ducks.
Ты лучше меня играешь.
You're better than me at both.
Да ладно тебе.
Oh, come on.
Ради целый день тренировалась, пока меня дома не было.
You must have been practicing the whole time I was away from home. She did. Olya burst out laughing. Her heart was warm once again.
А как ты догадался?
How did you know?
Я сейчас знаешь, какая меткая. Считай, уже проиграл.
But I'm a good shooter now. You've already lost.
Не на того напала. Включай скорее.
You've picked the wrong fight here. Come on, turn it on. Okay, nothing to do here. Open. I hid Simeon's signet ring in my desk drawer. Okay, the collection getting bigger. I was still unsure whether I did the right thing by stealing a crucial piece of evidence from the police. Definitely not the right thing. Then I relocated to my sister's room. Little Olya jumped over the TV set and, after flicking the power switch, started blindly feeling around the back side of the futon, trying to plug the console cable into the antenna input. Bits of TV shows started flashing on the CRT screen when I armed myself with the remote to look for the channel with the sought-after dandy signal.
Что дома интересного происходило?
Did anything interesting happen at home? It was a mundane question for me. I didn't put any actual meaning behind it. But Olya's expression suddenly changed. She lost all of the childish nonchalantness she worked so hard to acquire before.
Оль, что-то случилось?
What happened, Olya? My sister managed to pull the cable in its place and started brushing off her dust-covered hand. She was clearly looking for the courage to continue the conversation.
Мама.
Mom, Olya went silent, and for a moment I thought I saw tears welling up in her eyes.
У нее опять был этот страшный.
She had this scary thing happen to her again. My sister looked at me with wet eyes. What the hell happened?
Приступ.
She had a fit, huh? Okay. This had happened before, but it was a rare occasion. Now that we'd moved to this godforsaken place, Mom's fits rose in frequency.
Принес большую рыбу.
Dad brought home a big fish.
В газету была завернута и пахло так. Блeh.
It was wrapped in a newspaper and had a foul smell.
А мама опять начала злиться. Потом взяла нож.
Mom got angry again, and then she took a knife. Olya squirmed, looking fearfully out of the window.
Они начали громко ругаться.
They started screaming at each other. I froze, imagining my little sister so small and unnoticeable, standing in the kitchen doorway. She wasn't even trying to hide. Our parents just paid her no mind at all.
Потом мама ударила.
And then Mom struck with her fist.
Вот так.
Like this. Olya slightly moved her fist downward, imitating a strike.
Рыбу.
She hit the fish.
Она была живая тоже. Ей было больно. А мама...
It was still alive, Tosha. It must have been in pain, and Mom... It was easy to imagine what happened next. The writhing fish with a blade between its fins squirtled some foul-smelling musk into Mom's face. Whenever Dad got this close to my mom, be it when a person was hit by a bus in front of us and their blood was smeared all over the windshield, or when Grandma chopped off a chicken's head, Mom would always get into a weird, dreadful fit. What the hell is wrong? Okay, this is some crazy stuff. Her eyes would roll over. She would fall on her face like a freshly cut tree and started writhing just like that agonizing fish, turning over chairs and blurting out bits of scary sentences.
Папа, он ей помог?
And what about Dad? Did he help her? Ola shuddered, as if just remembering it pained her.
Но вначале
Yes, but at first...
он засмеялся, Тоша.
Okay, what the hell is wrong? What is going on in the family? He started laughing, Tosha.
Так страшно, когда увидел, что маме плохо.
He let out an evil laugh when he saw that Mom was in trouble.
Потом вдруг заплакал.
But then he cried. I think this village somehow affecting them. This is crazy. Ola's story made me raise an eyebrow. It seemed like the forest oozing madness had not only completely consumed our mom, but also infected our strong and courageous dad. I quickly stepped toward Ola and locked her in a tight embrace. She ducked her face into my chest and I could feel my shirt becoming wet.
Зачем они так издеваются друг над другом, Тош?
Why are they bullying each other, Tosha?
Они сумасшедшие.
Are they crazy? I stuttered, unable to justify the actions of our parents. I had ran out of words and all I could do was hug Ola even tighter. Okay, I'm just gonna say that as a kid, I freaking hated this head, okay? This was like, I think on the first channel of Russian TV. Many programs started with this head as a logo in the beginning. And as a kid, I was just freaking afraid when I saw this head. And holy damn, now they freaking made a jump scare with this thing? Whoa. Okay. Okay, that was dirty. You can get a freaking heart attack like that. Ola screamed and hid behind me.
Переключи скорей!
Turn it off, quick! No matter how many times she saw this intro, she would always react the same. Just like when she saw that owl. I mean, I also got goosebumps every time this ghastly face appeared on the screen, so I immediately complied with my sister's request. I think like most of Russian kids had to go through reacting like this to this freaking face. Okay. Finally, the game selection screen showed up for the cartridge that was bundled with the console. Okay, 9,999 games, I guess. That's the one? Yeah. Well, basically it's like maybe 5-6 games and just different variations of those games. Too bad most of the names here were just different levels of the same game. I picked up the gray rectangular controller and started looking around the pixel letters to find the familiar English word for duck. Background music from the menu suited Ola's mind and she asked in a calm voice.
А как твои дела в школе?
How are the things at school?
Да вот, завел пару друзей, наверное.
I made a couple of friends, I guess, and with one of them I already have a crush on the same girl, so... that.
Ого, целых двух.
Whoa.
Везет.
Whoa, a whole two of them. Lucky.
А ты говоришь, лисичку видела?
Right. Didn't you say you saw a fox?
Ага, ее зовут Алиса.
Yeah, her name is Alisa. I immediately felt uneasy when my new acquaintance was mentioned.
Откуда ты знаешь? Она так сказала.
How did you know? Did she tell you?
Да, когда с мамой мусор ходили выбрасывать. А еще говорила, что спасла тебя.
Yes, when Mom and I were throwing out garbage, she also said that she saved you.
Спасла?
Saved me? I remembered my fight with the delinquents in the forest, and that mysterious whisper from the ticket. I remembered the fleeing Simeon, and the horned giant towering above me, with its outstretching hand. All the time I could feel Alisa's unseen presence, as if she was watching me from behind the crooked trees, a smile stuck to her ginger mask. I shuddered, chasing away this delusion.
А еще она что-нибудь говорила?
Did she say anything else?
Не,
Nah.
мама так быстро вернулась. Я ее хотела с лисичкой познакомить, а та уже убежала.
Mom came back so fast. I wanted to introduce them, but the fox has already ran off.
Ты ее не боишься?
Aren't you afraid of her?
А почему я должна бояться? Алиса добрая, такая пушистая и красивая.
Why would I? Alisa is kind. She's so fluffy and pretty.
Не то что сова.
Unlike that owl. I plugged the light gun into the second controller port, listening to my sister's laughs.
Тюря первая!
I go first. Okay, are we actually going to have a mini game now? I remember this game as a kid. Okay. Am I going to play? I think so. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's win. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to lose this on purpose. Let Olya win this one. But not totally lose it. Let's pretend that I actually tried.
Ну-ка, от винта!
Let's get dangerous. Okay. Whoa, not bad. Ah. Oh! Oops. I think I'm leading now?
О, это ты виноват, что я промазала.
Boo, it's your fault I missed. Sorry. That wasn't on purpose. 13,000, okay. Final round. Hit one. Okay, now I need to be very careful. I think she has like 13,000 points. That's it, right? No? Oh, that was close. Ah. Yay!
Ой-ой-ой, умирает зайчик мой. Ты проиграл, Тоша.
That was on purpose. Bang, bang. And they're dead. You've lost, Tosha. That was on purpose.
Антон!
My mom only managed to get through to me on her third attempt.
Антон, тебя к телефону!
Anton, there's a call for you.
Девушка какая-то!
It's a girl. I sobered up in an instant and rushed to the hallway.
Не споткнись, смотри.
Watch your step. I grabbed the phone, pressed it into my chest, looking at my mom. She shrugged and went into the room, gathering the toys thrown around by Olya as she went.
Алло?
Hello?
У твоей мамы такой молодой голос.
Полина. Your mom has such a young voice.
А, ну да. Она сама молодая.
Well, yeah, I mean, she is young.
Не мешаю?
Are you busy right now?
Нет, что ты.
No, of course not. If only she knew how costly this conversation could be for me. What risks I took on just answering this call. There were a pen and a shabby notepad lying on the nightstand. I picked them up and started moving the tip of the pen across paper, producing chaotic doodles that always ended up turning into hearts.
Я прочла твои ответы.
I've read your answers.
Тебе действительно Кармен нравится?
Do you really like Carmen?
Мне, если по правде, русский рок больше нравится.
I like Russian rock more, to be
Но
honest.
я почему-то постеснялся это написать.
But I was too embarrassed to put it there for some reason.
А хочешь, Антоша, и я честной буду?
And do you want me to be honest with you too, Antosha?
Конечно.
Of course. My pen drew an outline of a girl's face, her eyes, her long eyelashes. Polina spoke in a hushed voice, probably to keep her grandpa from hearing.
Мне здесь ужасно тоскливо.
I'm bored to death here.
Дома?
At home?
В поселке.
In the village.
Здесь никогда и ничего не происходит. А если происходит, то всякая гадость.
There's nothing going on here, and if there is, it's always something nasty.
Дело даже не в пропавших детях.
And it's not even about the missing kids.
Здесь музыки мало.
There's almost no music here.
Но у тебя же кассеты есть.
Don't you have your
Я
cassettes?
не про записи.
I'm not talking about audio records.
Я про... Ну, голос этого места.
I mean, this place voice.
Он не мелодичный. Все шуршит, как патефонная игла. Скрипит, воет изредка.
It's not melodic at all. It's rustling like a record player needle. It just squeaks and moans from time to time.
Тут неуютно. Тесно очень.
It feels uncomfortable, suffocating.
Не знаю, как объяснить тебе.
I don't know how else to explain this. My pen's tip drafted a house surrounded by tall trees.
Кажется, я тебя понимаю.
I think I know what you mean.
Моя сестренка говорит, что чувствует себя заточенной в темницу.
My little sister says that she feels like a prisoner here.
Вот и я. Я очень люблю дедушку. И бросить его боюсь.
Me too, but I love Grandpa. I don't want to abandon him.
Но порой так хочется убежать. Далеко-далеко.
Sometimes I just want to escape so badly, somewhere very far away. Into the forest, I thought half-heartedly, to run under the falling snowflakes that make your fur white and the branches that hide you from praying eyes.
Я, когда рисую, будто путешествую.
When I draw, I feel like I'm transported to another place.
У меня так же со скрипкой.
It's the same for me and the violin.
Убегаю по смычку в небо.
Uh-huh. And the knife. Romka's knife. I ran up the bow straight to the sky. I realized I was drawing a butterfly knife. I crossed it over. Thinking of Romka ruined my mood. Should I tell her? Should I warn her about his plans to seduce her? I could throw a wrench into those plans. But what about our Voltron team? They may not be my best friends, but we're still buddies. Who would I become if I betrayed them? Okay, so now I need to choose Holly them. Okay, usually you'd say like you're not supposed to choose a girl you only met over your friends. But the thing is, he also just met them. And I don't know, they are still delinquents, and I'm pretty sure there will be a bad influence on Anton, so let's go with Polina here. Polina?
Да?
Yes?
Я хочу тебе кое в чем признаться.
I need to tell you something.
Ромка попросил меня об одной услуге.
Romka has asked me for a favor. I couldn't force out a sound. Words slipped and fell down my throat. I started wrapping the telephone wire around my finger from nervousness.
Алло, Антош, я тебя плохо слышу.
Hello, Anton, I can hear you. I breathed out loudly.
Ромка сделал из меня маньяка.
Well, dude, that's not how you explain that. Romka has made me into a serial killer. Ringing silence took over the call.
Что?
What?
Он попросил меня напасть на тебя.
He asked me to attack you.
Как будто я какой-то монстр.
Like I'm some sort of monster.
А он бы тут же объявился и героически тебя спас.
And he's supposed to show up and save you like a hero.
Алло, Полин?
Pauline? She didn't respond, so I blew into the handset.
Ты согласился?
And did you agree? The tone of her voice became serious, harsh.
Нет, как ты могла подумать?
No, how could you think that? Bro, you just lied to her. I mean, you should be like, listen, I didn't know it was you in the beginning, so I agreed, and then I realized that it was you when he said the school's first violin. And now I'm trying to figure a way out of this whole situation. So let's figure this one out together.
Я ведь сказал тебе правду.
I told you the truth, remember? Half-truth.
А Ромка с Бяшей, после такого они мне больше не товарищи.
Romka and Biasha, we can't be friends after something like this.
Ах, Антон, спасибо.
Oh, Anton, thank you.
Я так рада, что ты со мной.
I'm so glad to have you on my side. My heartbeat quickened. Anxious thoughts about losing Polina passed an imaginary touch to the thrill of meeting her very soon.
Понимаю, как тебе было нелегко рассказать такое.
I understand how difficult it was for you to divulge something like this.
Слушай, дедушка всегда говорил, что музыка лечит душу.
You know, Grandpa always says that music can cure your soul.
Хочешь, я тебе сыграю?
Do you want me to play something for you?
Где? В школе?
Where? At school?
Нет же, после школы.
No, silly, after school.
Придешь завтра ко мне в гости?
Will you come over to my place? I dropped my pen, struggling to believe in what I just heard. Then I rushed to get it from under the nightstand and rammed my head into it.
Конечно. Почему бы и нет?
I'm pretty sure she heard that. Of course, why not?
Тогда завтра после уроков, хорошо?
Tomorrow after school then. A bump was slowly bubbling up on my forehead, but I almost didn't feel it. The doorbell rang before I could reply. The boys, okay. Okay, so now we need to find a way to explain to them that it's not gonna work out. My wandering gaze stumbled upon the door. Romka and Biasha came to pick me up for the rehearsal, and I was supposed to help them lure away the girl I like. I'll have to pretend that I'm on their side, for Polina's sake.
Полин, подожди минутку.
Polina, wait a moment. I made a couple of steps and pressed myself into the door. Okay, yeah, I guess it's them. The light bulb hanging on the outside illuminated the porch, and I could discern two short silhouettes through the frozen peephole. Look what the cat dragged in.
Подождите, я сейчас!
Please wait, I'll be out in a moment. I returned to the phone and picked up the handset.
Мне надо бежать.
I need to run.
Мне тоже.
Me too.
Спасибо, что выслушал.
Thanks for lending an ear. My ear vibrated from the buzzing sounds. I lowered the handset on the phone and snuck a peek at the staircase. My mom, engrossed in her favorite TV show, didn't hear the ringer. I put on my shoes and hat without warning anyone and slipped into the dark winter evening. Okay, so I will end the second part here. So far, we started to get an interesting love triangle, I guess. And, well, probably the next part will be much more interesting. Romka needs to find a way to actually get out of this whole situation of helping Romka. Well, hopefully we can get them out of it. I hope you enjoyed the second part. Take care and see you next time.